Ninjago villains are something that have managed to be fairly different from each other consistently over the years. That is, if you look at it on the surface. If you do really think about it and water it down completely, in a way the villains are all fairly similar. Of course, they pretty much all want to take over Ninjago for the most part, and all of them have some kind of special power or ability that they use to help them. Or, if they don't have that, then their main goal is to find some kind of artifact that will help them achieve some kind of big power. Well, what if for once that wasn't the case, and the circumstances were completely different? That is precisely what we are going to be discussing in today's video. So to cut straight to the point of this whole villain plan that I really want to see in the future, basically I want a villain that has no special powers, or nobody that really wants some kind of special powers, and is not somebody that necessarily wants to completely just take over Ninjago. So basically what I'm trying to get at here is, maybe for once we can just kind of have a normal person that isn't even established to already established Ninjago lore. Now I guess you could argue that Harumi was kind of like this, but she was definitely very heavily connected to pre-established lore, as, you know, she had that whole tie-in with the Great Devourer. I want somebody that is just completely their own thing. They do not have any kind of story within Ninjago's history. They're just some kind of casual person that has a plan for something that isn't necessarily taking over Ninjago. So for a while, I was kind of speculating and just generally hoping that the Vengestone buyer would finally be this idea of villain that I actually have. It would be more of a casual person, more like a business person in a way, that was buying Vengestone for some kind of reason, maybe to halt the ninja's powers in some way, to achieve some goal. But unfortunately, with the new leaks, it is kind of looking like the Vengestone buyer could potentially be this Crystal King. And to be honest, is that really sounding like a casual villain that has no powers? Honestly, probably not, which does kind of completely crush those dreams I had. But how would this even work? How would they manage to implement a new villain that has no powers, no backstory that ties into already established Ninjago lore? Well, honestly, I think it could be fairly easy, because in that way, I guess it would be easier other than cramming in a whole new character and bending the lore already to fit this new person in. I think that would be fairly easy to do, but at the same time, I could honestly imagine people maybe finding this a little bit boring. Just a villain that is a human, has no kinds of insane special powers. You know, I can kind of see why people may find that boring, but honestly, I just see it as this insane, fresh kind of change to implement with Ninjago, because for so long we've had these villains that are insanely tied into already established Ninjago stories, and they also have crazy powers. But someone like this, it would be completely different. It would be an extremely fresh change to actually have, and I think this could really, really work, to be honest. But, on to the next question, would they do this? Honestly, I'm not too sure on that. I could see why they maybe would not want to do this. The reasons I've just mentioned, perhaps people could find it just a little bit boring. And maybe this is just something that I personally want and everybody else disagrees with me. So I could kind of see that to it. But at the same time, you know, it's a fresh change. I think people would also be happy with that. And, you know, seeing someone without powers would definitely bring a big change to a Ninjago season. And just having a villain with an entirely different plan, you know, one that doesn't really want to take over Ninjago, but wants to achieve a slightly smaller goal, yeah, it could definitely work quite well, and I think there is definitely people that do want that out there, so I think it could potentially actually work really well. It's maybe kind of hit or miss, but as long as it's written right and is done right overall, I think it could potentially be one of Ninjago's greatest villains, and it's just a big change that I really want to see come soon, and I can only just hope that we are finally going to be getting that in the somewhat near future. With this being said though, guys, I have basically summed up what I wanted to get across in today's video. Hopefully you guys kind of see where I'm coming from with this, and I hope you did enjoy today's video. As usual, if you did enjoy today's video, then please do feel free to drop a like on it if you are new to the channel and are interested in seeing a lot of content similar to this. Then do please also consider subscribing to the channel with that notification bell turned on, so you stay up to date on all of my latest Ninjago content. With all of this being said though, guys, I will see you all in my next video coming out very, very soon. Goodbye.